All right, what we're working with today is section 5.6, and what we're going to learn today is how you can prove triangles are congruent with angle, side angle. And so with angle, side angle, I have two sets of congruent angles, but then the side is squished in between. So the side is squished, so I have angle, side angle. And then for angle, angle, side, same idea, but this time my angles do not squish the side. The side is outside, so it's either this one here or it's this one up here. It's just not the included angle or the included side. So let's go ahead and see if we can finish our congruency statements. Remember, when you do this, the first one, it doesn't matter the order. What matters is that the corresponding angles are in the correct spot. So my angle A is a right angle. That has to be in the same spot as N. And then B was up here with no markings, and so that's in the same place as P. And then C has one arc, so it's the same place as Y. So as long as your A is in the same place as your N, your B is in the same place as P, and C is in the same place as Y, you're okay. And then the reasoning is I have an angle, I have a side, and then I have another angle. So my side is squished. So this is angle, side, angle. All right, for number 2, same idea. You name the first angle. This time I'm going to name it BAC. And so now B has no marks on it, so that's the same as D on the other triangle. A has one arc, so it's the same as E. And then C has two arcs, so it's the same as F. And this time I have an angle, another angle, and a side over here. And so if you notice, the side is not squished in between. It's not the included side, so this one's angle, angle, side. So these first two examples are examples when triangles are not connected. But remember, if you have connected triangles, there's some things you need to look for. The things you need to look for first are vertical angles. And remember, we look for vertical angles because vertical angles, if this is 40, this is 40. So vertical angles are equal. So that's the first thing you look for. The other thing you look for is you look for a shared side. If they have the same side, then they have to be equal on both sides. So if they have a common side or a shared side, then they have to be the same on both of them. So let's look at number 3. I'm going to name this triangle on the left by just saying FDE. F is down here with nothing on it, no arcs or anything, so it's in the same place as H. Oops, I meant to undo the circle. There we go. So it's in the same place as H. D, well, these are my vertical angles. You see that? They're vertical, so they have to be equal. So D is the same as D. And then E has one arc, which is the same as G, which has one arc. And now, I'm going to change color. I've got a lot of blue going on down there. Now what I have is I have an angle, I have a side, and I have this angle. And that side is squished, so it's angle, side, angle. All right, on the next one, I have the triangle on the left, which I'll call DCB. D has one arc, and A has one arc, so they go together. C has two arcs, and C has two arcs on the other one. And then B has no arcs and on the left, and it has none on the right either. So change to green, and then I get a green triangle. So let's go back to blue. So here's an angle, and here's an angle. And so I have to look. These are connected, and so what I have for this one is I have a shared side. You see how CB is in both of those triangles? So CB has to be the same as CB. And so now my question is it angle, side, angle, where the side is squished? Or is it angle, angle, side, where it's on the outside? And if you said angle, angle, side, you're correct, because the side is not squished. It's outside of those two angles. Okay? All right, the last thing we have to be able to do is find a missing piece of information. So I could draw two triangles, but really I know that they're in the same spot, so I'm just going to draw triangle ABC. A, B, C. And so I know that B is congruent to Y, so I'm going to draw an arc there. And I just made an angle, so I'm going to cross off one of my angles. And then I have BC is congruent to YZ. So BC is right here. So I just crossed off a side. So now if you notice, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for an angle. And the question is, what angle is going to make it so it's the sides on the outside? Is it going to be angle C or angle A? Well, if it's angle C, that would squish the side, and I don't want to squish the side. So really, the answer is angle A, because that's angle, side. So then my answer is going to be angle A is congruent to. Now this is where I have to come up and look at this first part. I didn't draw the second triangle, which is okay, but I just have to look at the directions and see whatever's in the same place as A. And angle A should be congruent to angle X. All right, for number 4, I'm going to do the same thing. Again, I'm not going to draw both triangles. I don't need both, as long as I know that things go in the right spot. So I have triangle ABC. I have A is congruent to X, so I'm going to mark the angle A, and that's an angle, so I cross off one of the A's. And then this side, AC, so that's a side. Now I need an angle, okay? And so it's either angle B, let's change colors. It's either going to be angle B or angle C. And you have to ask which one's going to squish the side. Well, my side is on the right, so the angle that squishes it is C. And so C is my answer because it squishes my side. So angle C has to be congruent to. Now I go back up here to the highlighted, and C was the third letter, so it's congruent to the third letter there. So it's congruent to angle Z. All right, so remember with angle, side, angle, the side is squished. Angle, angle, side, the side is outside of the two angles. And when you're doing these, finding a missing piece, it's going to be very helpful for you to actually draw the picture of one of the triangles.